Welcome to the practice round for Coyote Canyon for Disc Golf Valley Players Tour Week 8. We're using the Royal bag here. I have the Light Glide Strive in the mix. We don't know what Strive is going to be there yet, so I'm not even going to throw that one here. It's Accurate Roll Grace, straight pullback, default aim, gets over that tree, and drops down by the basket. Hole 1 should be a birdie every time. Some tough winds might make some tougher things happen there, but for the most part, you're going to be getting that birdie on hole 1. Hole 2 is probably the toughest without your light glide driver that you're used to, but still very doable. Take the tip, that bottom chevron, right in the shadow up here, and the pullback is just barely covering the numbers in the distance marker. As you get over the top and kick out there, to have a potential long shot of a throw-in look. I think you have to be within like 240 for the truss to get there. See if I can get lucky on a kind of a halfway attempt at the turnover line. I definitely don't. It leaves me here for a very reasonable throw-in still as well. The best thing you can do for yourself preparing for this week is to practice those hope throw-ins. It's similar to the fuse if they're a fuse thrower like me, but it is also has a lot more lift and is a lot more affected by the wind. This is the roll grace. Just get out here to the right side as well. I'm not even worried about leaking too far right. It's just a matter of whether I go grace or rive into the green there. Out here, it might be in the rive distance, 357. The grace might do it, but I'm just going to take the rive out there just to be sure I'm safe. There's a nice backstop, so we're not worried about going deep here. And get on this green for the birdie. There's not really much of an eagle play here without a water skip or a big skip disc, so that's not something I'm thinking about at all, just going for this birdie. Moving on to hole 4. Hole 4 with the grace versus the sapphire. If you're a sapphire thrower like me, it's a little riskier because the grace turns to the left more before fading back. So I want to make sure if I miss, the miss is tapping this wall on the right side there. A little bit of a bad kick because of that roll, kind of stuck a bit more when it got the bottom. Should be able to get down here. 136 has a reasonable chance. This isn't going to be an easy one, but we can drop it in there and still get that birdie. So maybe make that adjustment a little bit more to the left, but I'd rather drop in like that than I would drop OB. Hole 5, you don't need the skip rive at all, so wind glide works just fine. Slide left and put the right corner of this bottom chevron kind of right in this little crack here where it forms the L. This 3 wind is going to push me way to the right, so I just need about a half disc of Anheuser on this. It's going to push around there and slide up near the basket. Hopefully I'm in a good place where I'm not pinched up against it. It looks like that will be the case. This is going to be in putting range. If you have to throw in, you're adding about 20 feet of power to that throw in. I'll do this one more time, see if we get a neutral wind coming in. To replay this one, this is my normal line 2 in multiplayer. 3 wind again, it's going to push it out there. Aim down low, and about a half disc of Anheuser. You could add obviously a little bit more Anheuser. You very rarely ever want to go over 1 full disc of Anheuser. Even with a 3 right to left wind, I'm just going to 1 disc there. 74, this is about 20 up, so 84, 94. With a 3 headwind is 60, but with a hope, I'm going to throw it closer to 50 because it's going to get more lift and get up there for that eagle. Hopefully I get you an eagle there. It's very scrambleable even if you miss. Moving to hole 6, again with the accurate roll grace. It's slide left, aim at this little crook in the stump there and the root there, and huck it out here to the left. The thing you really don't want to do, of course, hit those cactuses, and you don't want to end up kind of close to where I did now, which might leave you an around the world putt to get to. Yep, just get blocked off. So you can get there around the world putt. It's very reasonable, but it works a lot nicer if that's not something you have to do in order to make that putt. You're going to be close enough that around the world is going to be in play, even if you do get pinched off behind that tree. Hole 7 is the wind glide right up again. Top aim just a little bit lower with the bottom chevron and that bush out there in the distance, and give it about a disc and a half, disc and a quarter of Anheuser. You don't want to mess around too much with getting really far to the left, because if there's any bit of headwind, there's a very reasonable chance that you have no look at the basket from there and drop OB. This, if you get too far up this hillside, obviously the same thing could happen. I'm going to go about 80 feet of power downhill with this 2-tailwind. Give it a little bit of anhyzer because the Hope does hyzer out a bit. Let's try that one more, see if we can get a better throw in to show you that birdie. Come down here with the Wind Glide Drive. This 3-wind's going to be pushing it a bit more. And so I'm not worried about getting in there too close because the 3-wind should push it up on top of those rocks to have a better look there for the birdie. Like I said on hole 1, practicing those Hope throw-ins, that's going to be the most important thing. Could have the birdie on the first one if I had that Hope throw-in dialed in. Let's move to hole 8. Hole 8, there's probably an ace run here. I haven't done much of figuring it out. Probably a Grace somewhere around here. And maybe a little bit more left and a little bit higher. But it's just a matter of getting across. I might work on an ace run for this if I have the extra time for that. But the main thing is going to be just getting across and making sure you're getting the birdie here. And like we are able to do. Final hole for us is going to be Coyote Canyon 9. On 9, the Wind Glide Drive works just fine. If this drive we get happens to be glide skip, I'll probably do that instead just to cut off a little bit more distance here. But this isn't a bad spot at all. If you get over here, you're going to have a look to get down. Nice little roll there, cool. Look to get down by the basket to be able to have a putt. This even has maybe an outside chance of a throw-in with a long drive throw-in. See if it gets maybe close there. Nope, not quite enough lift. We need to have a little bit more to get there, but we are in to get the birdie. Well, I hope this helps you in your rounds for Disc Golf Valley Players Tour and that you can stay bogey-free.